Hello, everyone. This is Dana, the OG picker in Southern California. It is Monday, Columbus Day, October 12th, 2015. And I just put together a little slideshow for you guys here to show you some of the rather unique mid-century hammered / wrought aluminum decorative serving ware I picked up. I picked up quite a large lot of this stuff, probably about 50 pieces, from a friend who was getting rid of it and didn't want it to go to a recycle bin and just get crunched up. So I took it and took the time to clean it up and get some pictures. I took all of these pictures myself. They were shot outdoors in daylight on a black background, like black velvet or black felt. Had a big black backdrop sheet that I used, and just set up my camera on a tripod and shot these pictures. Did a little tweaking with some post-production software when I was done to make sure it was showing what I wanted, but pretty much they're pretty much the way I took the pictures. So just wanted to show you a few of these things here. There's about 80 slides in this set, so sit back and enjoy here. This is a real pretty round aluminum tray. A little detail of the hand wrought work on some of this stuff here. Aluminum is pretty soft, so back in the mid-century period in the 50s and stuff like that, it was quite popular. Aluminum was the new modern metal, and they started making a lot of housewares and things out of it. And since it's very malleable, people started doing a lot of art on it, and this stuff was hand done. And a lot of it you'll see later on. There's a lot of maker's marks that I also captured, and you'll be able to see them. But the work is pretty amazing. Consider this was to be basically decorative serving ware. This is a Fluted Rim Bowl. This is in the base of that bowl. They've got a beautiful flower etched down into the bottom of that thing. This is just another kind of a flat bowl, serving dish, like a fruit dish or something. And here you see the inside of it is fairly plain, but around the edges they've got a beautiful flower pattern. And this is a tiered candy dish or canapes with a T handle, so you can carry it around. A little better shot of it here. This thing is probably, the bottom dish is about 15 inches or so in diameter, something like that, 15, 16 inches. And the top one is about 10 to 12. And here's some of the detail along the edges. And a shot from the top to see what's inside the smaller dish on the top. Another shallow bowl with a design worked around the edge, but fairly plain. This is an oval-shaped dish. And another dish with the workings on the inside edge. And this is the lid for something. I'm not sure if I have the actual base for it, but the lid's pretty cool. With a really kind of unique curlicue handle they put on it and riveted in place. And it looks like strawberry plant motif. Yep, strawberries. This, at first I couldn't figure out what this was, but I eventually did. I have a bunch of little, about 3.5 inch diameter aluminum coasters, and those coasters actually fit in here. So this is a little carrier that you could just carry around and hand coasters to your guests so they have something to put their drink on and not leave water rings on your furniture. Another bowl with a really pretty leaf pattern handle on the edges. Here's a close-up of that leaf pattern, kind of neat. Quite a bit of artistry in this thing. Another shot from the top with a hammered finish, and then a looks like a chrysanthemum flower down inside. And this is a big tray. This is about 22 inches in diameter. And with a flower, look like a tulip or something like that down there. I'm not really a flower guy, but a really pretty hammered finish. A little close-up of the flower. And this is another big round tray, probably about 15, 18 inches in diameter, with this awesome bamboo pattern on it. This is one of my favorite pieces here. You can see that bamboo is just, wow, that's really neat. Some great work here. And another round serving tray with a like a sawtooth edge milled into it. This one's got fruit and flowers, grapes and peaches and apples and things like that. And another handled serving tray with kind of unique handles. And this has fish. These look like freshwater angelfish, and although maybe not. We've seen freshwater plants, but I guess they're freshwater fish. They may be marine, I'm not sure. But again, hammered finish with a fish motif in the center. I would call that an angelfish, and that's a freshwater fish. But the other ones don't seem to be freshwater type fish. Anyway, neither here nor there, just fish. Another pretty shallow serving dish with a really pretty pattern on it. Little tiny flowers and leaves and stuff. And another one. This has a this is a footed serving dish. This actually pivots. There is a bearing on the base. You'll see in a subsequent picture here that it sits up on a base and it turns around. There's the base of it. And you can see that screw down in the center there where it goes together and fastens to the base. There's actually ball bearings in a race underneath this thing. And again, some pretty ornate decorative work here. Here's a nice deeper bowl. This is about 12-inch diameter bowl with a base on it, footed base. And designs down on the inside with, again, chrysanthemum seems to be popular. And another serving tray with really unique handles. I love the handles on this one. And apples and peaches and grapes and things like that. Here's a close-up of the handles. Kind of cool, huh? And another pivoting or spinning footed tray. This one has a big old honking steel nut in the center of it, which kind of takes away from it, but it's still kind of a cool piece with flowers and stuff around the edges. There's the bottom. You can tell it's kind of old because they're using square bolts and or square nuts on there, and that's old school. Everything nowadays would be a hex nut. Here are the coasters that go in that little coaster holder thingy that I showed you before. I finally figured out that the two went together. And this is the lid for a little, this is actually a cigarette box. This is about a 6 or 7 inch long by about 5 inch wide or so. A little aluminum box with 2 compartments on the inside. They used to put, like unfiltered cigarettes in this thing out on the coffee table when smoking was in vogue and acceptable. And this has got a really nice duck hunter motif worked into the surface of this. I actually sold this particular piece and got a nice chunk of change for it. There's the inside of the box. So you can see the little, that little insert, that 2 compartment insert actually comes out. There's a side view of it. And it's made in Italy by Vasco or Nasco. That's the maker's mark on the bottom of it. Here's just some more maker's marks. Continental hand-wrought silver look aluminum. Piece number 604. Just some more detail of some of the work around there. Here's another maker's mark, forged aluminum by Intaglio Design. And Everlast forged aluminum. Again, another continental silver look, hand wrought, hand forged again, by Everlast Metal. These maker's marks are kind of cool. They were, it meant that they felt that was valuable enough to actually get a mark. It wasn't necessarily a mass-produced item, but this is Wilson Specialties. Kind of double stamped on that one, so it's hard to see. Palmer Smith, another maker. Everlast again. Cromwell hand wrought aluminum, another maker. Wendell August. This was quite a well-known name. That little cigarette box was a Wendell August, I believe. And Wilson Metal Products, hand wrought aluminum, from Brooklyn, New York. Federal Silver. Now it says silver on here, but these are aluminum. They're not silver. And that looks like that's the end of the slideshow. So I hope you enjoy it. This is OG Picker. This stuff is all available for sale. I still have the bulk of it. So if you're interested in any of these pieces, feel free to make a comment or contact me through the YouTube video and we can talk. I could ship it from you. I'm in Southern California, but these things are all fairly light. But they are a little bit large, so the shipping would not be real cheap, but it's still shippable. If you'd like to get a piece of this, or anyone in particular, give me a ring and let you know. Have a good one. This is the OG Picker, Dana in Southern California, signing off. Goodbye.